Hi, today we're at Fishguard Fort, which is best known as being the site for the last invasion of Britain. And so we're going to have a look. So the fort was built in the late 1700s after local people were worried about an invasion, and they petitioned the Privy Council for a fort with cannons. The Privy Council agreed, but only if the local people built the fort themselves. And it came into use then, I think it was 1797, when there was an invasion from France. The cannons were fired, but they only contained blanks because there was a shortage of ammunition. But it was enough to scare the French away, and they went further round to a little way around the coast. I think beyond where you can see the headland there, where the Stena ferry's parked. Now, the famous legend associated with that was that the French landed, they ransacked a farmhouse and stole loads of food and got themselves completely drunk, cooked some chickens, but they didn't make a very good job of it, and then they all got really sick, and local people started fighting them. There was also the local volunteers, the Fishguard Fencibles, which were a group of men involved in local defence, I suppose a bit like Dad's army. And then they supposedly saw a group of ladies dressed in traditional Welsh costume of red capes and the tall black hats. And then the French believed these to be soldiers. And they started retreating. And one particular lady, called Jemima Nicholas, armed with a pitchfork, captured a bunch of the French and held them captive in St Mary's Church until they could be arrested. Cavalry soon arrived, which were the Pembrokeshire Yeomanry, led by Lord Cawdor, and the French were subsequently driven down to a beach and arrested. We did visit the church, but we couldn't find the memorial to Jemima Nicholas. That's beautiful. There looks like a little building with windows there. We'll go down there afterwards. There's the entrance. I thought it might be on a slightly higher point of land, but when I was on the other side looking round, it looked quite low down. You can see there's the harbour, where the ferries go across to Ireland. Unfortunately, we missed the galleon Andalusia, which was here for a few days, and that was a replica Spanish galleon. It was supposed to set sail today, but because of tides and weather it actually went earlier and left yesterday, so we're pretty disappointed about that. It's on its way back to Spain. You can see there, that's the entrance into the old harbour. It's quite a busy port for quite a small town. I think the outcrop of land there is Dinas Head or Dinas Island, and you can walk around there. I'd really like to do it one day. And there's Colin, and here's some cannons. Apparently in World War II the fort came back into use and searchlights were positioned here to look for incoming German planes, and there were also a couple of machine guns here, but all of that has long gone. Also in Fishguard Harbour, they stationed the Sunderland flying boats, which were used in the war. Colin's got a picture of one on his wall. I'll have to take a photograph of that and put it in somewhere. And there's one sunk somewhere, the only one left of its kind, somewhere out at sea, and some people have been diving down and bringing back pieces of it and trying to clean them up, so maybe they can put them on public display. They say it's the only one of that very early model that's left. There was supposed to be some concrete bases left where Nissen huts were in the Second World War, but I can't see them. I'll ask Colin if he can. Colin, can you see concrete bases where they would have had the huts in the Second World War? Because I can't. I can only see the slates with the cannons. There were supposed to be 2 Nissen huts on concrete bases, but I can't see them. Unless they're over the edge here. It's really overgrown. That's very pretty. Some people out there on a little boat. Very peaceful. We've just had a picnic round by the old harbour. It's hard to see now, but Colin's just looked over the edge and there's this ivy covered sort of outcrop, which he's pretty sure where the huts would have been. I'm going to walk around the edge and then down to that other little building. There's some people kayaking. I'm quite lucky today as some people were just leaving as we arrived. And I go and have a look at this little hut with the windows. There's also a tapestry similar to the bio tapestry in Fishguard in the town hall, which I've just been and viewed, but it was strictly no filming or photography. It was absolutely fascinating. And local ladies embroidered it, and it was showing the story of the last invasion by the French. I've bought a postcard. If there's not a copyright, I will pop a picture of it at the end of the film somewhere. And it had a picture of Jemima Nicholas and some green-faced Frenchmen who were very sick that she'd apprehended while holding a pitchfork. Unfortunately, this is gated. There we are. You can sort of see what's in there. There's a door at the back. And a kind of vaulted roof. It's a bit disappointing you can't get in. The slit-like windows have been blocked. I wonder if it would have been a shelter for the men, or maybe an ammo store, or both. Colin's just pointed out a fireplace at the end, which I'll have a look at. Yeah, definitely a fireplace. You can still see the hearth and a bit of blackening, even though the chimney's gone. It's been quite bleak out here. Nice shot through that window there. Oh, you can look through it and you can see the kayakers. Hope you've enjoyed this little tour of Fishguard Fort. I didn't even know it was here until recently, so thank you for watching. Bye.